Welcome to the What's Happening Birmingham video podcast.
Hello everyone, this is Jefferson with What's Happening in Birmingham. Today I'm back again. Today I got Jacquelyn Grant Jones. She's running for Jefferson County District Court Judge, Place 3, Family Court. Everybody, Family Court. Jacquelyn, how you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Great. I know y'all probably noticed, how these allergies are going. We're gonna power through it. I want to thank you for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
Discuss your candidacy running for judge. Before we start, just give the viewers like a quick bio real quick about yourself.
I'm attorney Jacquelyn Grant Jones. I have been practicing law here in Jefferson County for the last 16 years. I have over 19 years of legal experience. My office is located in downtown Birmingham, 5th Avenue and 21st Street. Is there anything else, Jarvis?
Well, where you grew up at, with your mom and your daddy, what church you go to?
I am originally from Lowndes County, Alabama. That's one of the historic black belt communities here in our state. My mom and father, they still live there. My mother's name is Annie and my father's name is Jack, so I have my dad's name. I went to Tuskegee University and Miles Law School, and I have 2 children, and I'm a proud military wife. My husband is in the Navy. He's a senior chief.
And you got a lot of red on. What does that mean?
I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
All right. So why you running for judge?
I'm running because I saw a need for change in Place 3.
Okay.
And I know you've probably heard me say this so many times on the campaign trail, but I saw a need for change, and instead of complaining about it, I decided to do something about it and be the change that I wanted to see. I've been practicing law, as I said, for the last 16 years, and to me, the next step was, judgeship. I just didn't know exactly how I would maneuver into running for judge, but I knew I wanted to be one. So, when the opportunity presented itself after talking to my mentors and talking to my colleagues that practice in the family court system, and they all were 100% behind me, I said, hey, why not? So here I am, 11 months later.
Oh, wow. So tell me about, family court, Place 3, what type of cases, and I want you to zoom in on the viewers or voters that you'll be hearing if you're elected.
Okay, so family court is the court dealing with families and children. It's the court where unmarried individuals go. But this particular seat here is child custody, child support, paternity, PFAs, and the like. Now, family court in general, they have juvenile delinquency, juvenile dependency, so on and so forth. But this particular seat only deals with child custody, child support, paternity, and child support, and PFAs.
Okay, so you all know somebody, if you've been through this court, you know what that means. So I guess I want to go back to how's your experience, your upbringing, your education, work experience prepared you for this position?
As I said, I grew up in Lowndes County.
Okay.
And Lowndes County, like I said, is one of our historic black belt communities here in our state. And growing up in Lowndes County, we were, I don't want to call it poverty, I'll say economically strict. We had economic issues, I'll say. The resources weren't there.
Okay.
And so growing up, I come from humble beginnings, let me just put it that way. However, I had parents that worked hard and strived to do something with their lives and knew that, in raising me, they wanted me to do something different.
Okay.
So they paved the way for me. And, my father, he saved and sent me off to college, and here I am. I went to Tuskegee University. That says a lot. It's a private institution. My father was adamant that he wanted me to go to one of the best universities in our state, and I believe I did.
Okay, and now you're going to your work history.
My work history. So I graduated from Miles Law School, and after graduating from Miles Law School, well, let's go back. Prior to graduating from Miles Law School, I worked for Judge Blankenship and the late Demetrius Newton. Okay. Judge Blankenship was a lawyer at the time, so he was practicing over in downtown Birmingham, over by the bus station. I think that's 18th Street. Mm-hmm. And so I started working for him. That was in 2004, I believe. And I worked for him from 2004 up until I passed the bar. And when I passed the bar, I actually went back to that same office, and he and I worked alongside each other. He actually taught me everything I know about property. So I have a wealth of knowledge, not just in family court, but in other areas as well. And I attribute that to the great lawyers that trained me and molded me into the lawyer that I am today.
Okay, I want to do the last block. I'm not saying all in this order. Your community service.
Oh, I'm a part of many community service organizations. My most proud organization is Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. However, I'm a member of Junior League of Birmingham. I'm also a new member of the Continental Society. I mean, I have so many different organizations, NAACP. I mean, I can go on and on and on about the organizations that I'm a part of. But what I will tell you is this, is that community service has been the foundation of my career. I grew up in an area where we always had to give back. So even growing up, or even as a baby lawyer, I would say, I started giving back. I started doing wheel clinics for those people in the low income areas, like Lowndes County, and even the smaller churches here in Jefferson County. I would go in and do free wheels for them. Because one thing I know is that if we don't help those people that are not necessarily uneducated, but uninformed, they won't do any better. And so my goal is always to help those that are less fortunate or that don't necessarily have the wherewithal to know what they need going forward. So doing wills and doing power of attorneys and educating them on the needs to have their affairs in order is something that I pride myself on. Even now, you know, I've done, since running, I've actually done probably 2 free will clinics. And it's not something that I publicize, it's just something that I love to do. You know, my heart's passion is children and old people. You know, if I can protect the kids and the elderly, I feel like I've done my job.
Okay, and I don't want to leave out church.
I go to Livingstone's Temple in Fultondale, where Pastor A.B. Sutton is my pastor. And I love my church family. My daughter loves my church. My husband loves our church. We are active in our church. It is the best church in Jefferson County, in my opinion.
Okay, I didn't want to leave that out. The church member like, I didn't know that you was running.
You're right. But I believe my church members know that I'm running. I do frequent there, even on the campaign trail. Here lately, I'll say in the new year, I hadn't gone as much because I'm visiting other churches. But I have set a goal to always try to attend my church, because one, we start at 8 o'clock in the morning, so you should visit us. And so there are not a lot of churches in Jefferson County that starts at 8. So I get an opportunity most Sundays to go to church and then leave and make my way to another church. So it's been a great journey, and church has been my favorite part of campaigning. I will say that I love church. You know, I'm a country girl, so you know, church and eating. That's what we do. But it's been fun. It's been fun.
Okay, so in this position, well, any judge position, you're gonna be making a lot of like tough decisions.
Yeah.
In family court, you're making decisions that determine where a child is raised. And the question, you know, like I always like to ask a lot of candidates running for office, specifically people that's running to be judges, what are some of the toughest decisions you made in your life? Or just one or two like that?
Toughest decisions, let's see. If I could think of one, I would probably say to actually go to law school.
Okay.
I always knew that I would be a lawyer. I always knew that I would eventually go to law school. I just never could see how or when. I grew up around educators. So that's what I thought I would initially start out doing. In fact, I went to Georgia right out of college to teach.
Okay.
And got there and was like, this is not it. Teaching was just not my thing. And so I commend any person that goes into education. It just wasn't for me. So I moved back home with my parents and started applying to law school. It ended up here. And so I think for me, it was making the transition in my career and just making a decision. Because, you know, I had one career path in mind saying, let me start with education, let me get, you know, that foundation. Because I majored in English in Tuskegee, so I knew I would go teach kids, you know, the little kids how to read and write and things like that. But it just didn't turn out like that for me. Law was what my passion was, and I knew that from the beginning, so I went to law school. And the funny thing about law school is when I started applying, I didn't even know Miles existed.
Okay.
I found out about Miles through a good friend of mine once I had already moved here to Jefferson County.
Okay.
And then when I went, I knew I never wanted to leave the state of Alabama, so Miles was my choice. And my dad said, well, you can go to Miles and I can pay for your education and buy you a house, or you can go to another school and have student loans. And so I decided to go to Miles and let him buy me a house. And so when I moved here, My father bought me a house. It was my graduation gift, or my starting law school gift. And that's where I've been here ever since. And I love Jefferson County. I love going home, but I love Jefferson County.
So there's 3 candidates in this race.
Yes.
Why should voters, I always like to say zoom in, why should voters choose you?
Well, I'll tell you this. I have the experience, I have the knowledge, and I have the skills to get the job done. I feel like the citizens of Jefferson County deserves a judge who's fair, one who's respectful to all, one who knows the law, and one that won't judge you based on what you look like or where you come from. Just fair. And for me, I feel like we've lost some things in our family court system, especially in place 3. And so instead of complaining and not doing anything about it, I'm challenging the voters to stand up and research their candidates and choose the one that has the skills and the knowledge and the respect and the judicial temperament. And I believe when they research and all is all said and done, that they'll realize that I'm the one.
Okay, are there any judges, like growing up and now your profession, that you kind of admired and be nationally or locally? Or?
If I could say nationally, of course, I'm gonna say Ketanji Brown Jackson. Of course, she's the first African American Supreme Court justice, and she's a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. But locally, if I could really and truly choose someone, it would be Judge Blankenship, Donald Blankenship. He's one of our circuit civil judges here in Jefferson County. And what can I say about him? His demeanor on the bench is the epitome of what our judiciary should be. He's respectful in any situation, and I have watched him in some very tough situations. He's kept his composure. He knows the law. I mean, he's like an encyclopedia. He knows it's probably nothing that I've asked him that he cannot answer. He is my role model. He is who I aspire to be when elected. And I have shadowed him enough. I have bothered him enough with questions that I believe I will be a great asset to the Jefferson County bench.
So if they want to get in contact with you and find out more about your campaign, where do they go?
My website is www.votejones4judge. So Vote Jones for Judge with the number 4. My social media is my full name, Jacquelyn Grant Jones, and my campaign social media is Vote Jacquelyn Grant Jones Place 3. But you can find me anywhere. I'm here in Jefferson County. You can Google me. My address is online. My phone number probably is online. I get calls all the time. So you can find me anywhere. I'm here. And I'm here to serve the citizens of Jefferson County.
Well, Jacquelyn, I want to thank you for coming on. Viewers, have you noticed that we're actually facing the judge? So I want you to visualize that if you're sitting here, who do you want facing you in place 3?
And that would be me.
So on Tuesday, March 5th, don't forget to go out and vote, everybody. And one thing, like she said too, don't be afraid to research these people. Don't be afraid to, and the reason why I start off the interview asking where you grew up, who your mama, who your dad, where you went to school with. If you start connecting the dots, somebody probably know her that you can ask about it. But don't go off of one person, ask many people now.
Absolutely.
And look at their record, and don't be afraid to, like, I think I did another previous interview that was like, don't be afraid to reach out to some judges that's here, that's on the bench. They probably could tell you one way or another, or whatever the case may be, but please research the candidate, because one thing the reason why I really like doing these interviews with the judicial candidates is that I want them to vote for you not because it's a popularity contest. Vote for people because they're qualified and what their experience is. And don't go off of what your friend told you to vote. Look them up and...
Absolutely. And I often tell people, if you know a family law attorney in Jefferson County, ask them about me. I think you'll be pleased with what you hear.
Well, Jacquelyn, thank you all. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for coming on today. Please check out what'shappenedbirmingham.com for more interviews. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and check out the audio version of this on Apple Podcasts. Thank you all again, and vote March 5th, 2024. I'm going to let you in it.
Vote Jacquelyn Grant Jones for Jefferson County District Court Judge, Place 3. I have the right experience, the knowledge, and the skills to get the job done. I promise you, if you vote for me, you will not be disappointed.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching the What's Happening Birmingham video podcast. Please check out our website, app, or subscribe to our YouTube channel for the latest videos today.